In the UK, we really romanticize what the American high school life is like.
So you went to school for 2 weeks?
Yeah, the Bronx School of Science, yeah.
And none of the kids knew? Like, would you go eat lunch with the kids?
Yeah, I made friends.
Americans will never understand the desire of a European wanting to go to an American high school.
My children really love this one. One day a week they get to finish an hour early so they can go and hang out with their friends, go to the mall, go to the public swimming pool.
Is there even like a field this big in Europe?
3 football pitches we had would fit in this.
Why is there a parking lot? You guys drive to school?
England, if you take your child out of school to go on holiday, you will pay a fine to the school. In America, you're allowed to do whatever you want.
It's a typical yellow American school bus. Wow. Hello, could I ask you a question? Hi. I'm a tourist from Germany and I saw these school buses so many times in movies before. I've never been inside such a bus. Would it be maybe possible to have a look inside?
How did you react when you found out that Americans' final exam is multiple choice? A multiple choice exam!
Like this video and subscribe to the channel. We thought Europeans were just too obsessed with American schools. But when they finally visit, they literally can't get enough of the massive spaces, our unique culture, and the everyday things we take completely for granted.
In the UK, we really romanticize what the American high school life is like. You know, we watch movies and we see how fun it is and all that sort of stuff. And I secretly enrolled in the Bronx School of Science and went for like 2 weeks at this school.
Really?
I had like a fake accent. My chaperone pretended to be my dad and would like drop me off at school every day. And like, they're like the smartest kids in America. They're like genius kids. And I'm thick as shit, right, when it comes to science. And yeah, I took all the classes. I was great in gym. Like gym was like my class I really excelled at. But like, in what other line of work would you get to do something like that? You know?
So you went to school for 2 weeks?
Yeah, the Bronx School of Science, yeah.
And none of the kids knew? Like, would you go eat lunch with the kids?
Yeah, I made friends. I was like a new exchange student. I had a backstory. I have videos on my phone. I actually have a video on my phone of a teacher throwing chalk at me because I was on my phone, because I was trying to document it all. I'll show you afterwards. It's actually nuts. But yeah, like that research stuff, like there's no world in where you could do something like that.
Literally feel like I'm in an American High School Musical movie right now. Tell me this is not like everyone's dream in the UK. Sit up here, watch a game, watch a bit of the old football. This is so sick, mate. This is so sick.
This is what British people have to wear to school. And this is what Americans have to wear to school. They can wear whatever they want. This is what British schools have around them, a gate, meaning that nobody from the outside can get in. In America, they have nothing like this, meaning anybody can walk in to the school. Americans could definitely do with having some gates around their school. In England, if you take your child out of school to go on holiday, you will pay a fine to the school. In America, you're allowed to do whatever you want. In the UK, school starts at approximately 8:30 to 9 a.m. America, it starts at approximately 7:30 a.m. In the UK, your grade is calculated based off about 3 tests at the end of the year. America is cumulative, meaning that over the course of your 4 years during high school, that is the grade that you will get. In England, you have different schedules per day. So on Monday, you might have English, Tuesday, you might have maths. In America, you have the same schedule every single day.
This is all for the high school sports team? We don't even have high school sports. This looks like a professional field. You know, I would think that's obvious, but I forget that we are in America. Why is there a parking lot? You guys drive to school?
I'm just so confused. I don't know how to do this math problem. Goth? What is this? Oh gosh. Okay, so I take a picture of my problem. It explained to me how to do it. It really do just explain to me how to do the math problem. And it gives me the answer. I'm going to use this to study for my exam. And I'm going to use this to finish this paper.
I have a very serious question for all Americans. Is high school life exactly like they portray in the movies? Do you have all these various different groups, like the jocks, like the cheerleaders, the nerds, like, is that realistic? And also, do people sit on different tables and such, or is that just a movie thing? Also, does everyone come to the football games on a Thursday or a Friday night? Do you also have a prom queen and a prom king? Like, this is all stuff I need to know. Because honestly, high school is something I would have loved to experience as a Brit. So let me know in the comments if it's all true. And if you want to see more adventures of me in America, drop me a follow.
Taking my European best friend to my American high school on his first visit to the U.S.
Do you know something? Or is it just like expected that students
The
will sit on the
canteen,
floor?
like I said, the canteen. Look at that. What's crazy?
There's no fucking way they have a flag in front of us.
What are your impressions so far?
Very much like the films, but honestly not all that different from my high school. Like, kind of different, but not too much.
Can you do the Baron move? Baron? Is there even like a field this big in Europe?
Actually, in my high school, I think like the 3 football pitches we had would fit in this, because they were like half pitches. They were like 1, 2, 3. I feel like
so you
3...
played half football.
I didn't play football. I'm gay.
American schools are so much cooler than British schools. Oh, sorry I'm late. This is maths class, but you call it like calculator, don't you? No, it's called calculus. Okay, Amber, maybe you didn't know, but you are very late. 2 minutes late. I'm sorry. Excuse me, what time do you think American schools start? Like most schools in England do. 9 o'clock. That's so late. What do you mean late? Dude, y'all are so lucky. We start school at 7 a.m. What? Yeah, first class starts at 7. So you're not 2 minutes late. You're 2 hours late. How is that even legal? Like, I'm barely awake at 7 o'clock. How do you expect people to be in class learning at 7 o'clock? Well, you're gonna find out tomorrow when you're here on time at 7 a.m. Go sit down. Dude, you don't want to be late 2 days in a row. But if you couldn't get here for 9 a.m., how are you gonna get here for 7 a.m.? I have no idea.
So I assume you guys want to know like what the work looks like, right? This is us doing sequences. So we're literally just adding 3. Add 3, add 3, add 3. What's the next sequence? It's literally this easy.
Americans will never understand the desire of a European wanting to go to an American high school. I grew up with Disney Channel and Nickelodeon shows, and I romanticized these shows so much. It was always my biggest dream to go to one of these high schools and have this like typical life with yellow school buses and cheerleaders and football games and all of that. And by the way, they filmed a Disney Channel show at this specific school.
Hello guys, I'm back in the locker room and I wanted to tell you guys, my name is August. I'm a foreign exchange student and I want to tell you about this video I was editing for a while. So I have made a soccer clip and I've been working on that. So I've been editing videos a lot, and I'm also doing something called RNN, and it's like a news. So I'm working on some news stuff as well, and I really like it. I've been continuing my art as well, and just making like good edited videos for the news to use. I don't know if their actual news is going to use it, but hopefully.
Okay, so I'm at American high school and I've never seen anything like this, because obviously in the UK we don't have these types of pictures. Tell me this is not awesome. Like, look, South Pasadena Tigers. I feel like I'm in an American movie right now. This is so cool.
In Germany, we're not allowed to use our phones in the classroom, but we can use them in the breaks. The teachers don't collect our phones in the morning and we can carry them around with us all day.
How is it in the US?
Here in Florida, most of our teachers have like little bins or sleeves you can put your phone into. Some other teachers don't really care about phones that often. For the most part, we're allowed to be on our phones, but unless the teacher has something to put it in, you're supposed to put that there.
Look at this, a typical yellow American school bus. Wow, actually the door is open now. I would love to go inside. Actually, there's somebody inside. Oh. Hello, could I ask you a question? I'm a tourist from Germany, and I saw these school buses so many times in movies before. I've never been inside such a bus. Would it be maybe possible to have a look inside? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Do every schools in the USA use these buses?
Most.
Or is it only like a few?
Most.
Most. So if you grew up in America, chances are high that you took these buses as a kid?
Yes, unless you've lived close enough to your school.
And then you can walk.
So you can walk.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I saw them so many times in movies before. We don't have these buses in Germany.
Okay.
For example, do you know the movie Forrest Gump?
Yes.
One of my favorite movies.
Yes.
They also ride these buses in the beginning of the movie when Forrest is still a child. Oh, that's so cool. Are you actually a bus driver?
I am.
So you're taking a break now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, lovely to meet you. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, okay, have a good day. Right, that was very cool and random. My first time being inside a yellow bus in America. Oh, that was cool.
I had a foreign exchange student for 2 weeks, so let's talk about some things that are completely different compared to American school systems to Italy school systems. This one is literally crazy, but they do school from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, I did in fact say that right. Having school for 10 hours a day would probably send me into a mental psychosis. The next one is that the girl that I actually had stayed at a boarding school. So she stays at the school from Monday to Friday and then goes home on the weekend. But not everyone in their school does that. She told me that there were a couple of kids who never went home because they are on the complete other side of Italy, so it just doesn't make sense to do a 5-hour train ride every single weekend. One thing that's actually super nice that she said that they get served very good food. It's not called a cafeteria, I forgot the name, but they have a cafeteria-like thing. And they all eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at that cafeteria. But it's not like an American cafeteria, it's genuine chefs cooking them food every single night. This is actually really sad, but a lot of people themselves because of school in Italy. People get so depressed and stressed out from the school that goes on because they do it for 10 hours that they just feel like they cannot take it anymore, which is so incredibly sad. This fact is actually really cool, but the students are in the same class for 5 years. So you'll be with the same 15 to 20 kids the entire time of your high school career. And another really cool thing is that they actually do not move classrooms. They have one basic, boring, and non-decorated classroom, and all of the teachers move.
Oh my god, can you make a picture of me?
Why? Wait.
Because of
What?
it's a yellow squash, like from the American movies.
Okay.
You know who's taking it? Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana.
Oh.
All people from High School Musical, I'm sure. And all American.
Yeah.
You will never believe what I saw. Yes. Like yellow. Yes, High School Musical, right? That's the happiest day of my life. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm in America, yeah? Guys, the yellow school buses are real. My whole life I thought it was just cartoons or the telly that would show these yellow school buses, and I was like, it's not real, it's just for the telly. Blimey, it's real! My family don't believe me. I'm gonna catch me a picture tomorrow so I can show them.
Big thing I get asked by Brits all the time is, did you really go to school in a big yellow school bus? Yeah, this is pretty much the only period in 99% of Americans' lives where they have a functional public transit system. And it works quite efficiently. At both school districts I went to, the school day would be staggered for elementary, middle, and high school students, so the buses came at the right time. So you'd stand out on the side of the road in front of your house about 5 minutes before the bus was meant to pick you up. And then you get on and he takes you to your school. The school bus would drop you off for middle school, which is usually grades 7 to 8 or so, at 7:05 a.m. Then the bus drivers do their second round, picking up the high school students and taking them to high school. And they're dropped off at 7:45 a.m. And then finally he'd do a further 2 rounds for the elementary school students and kindergartners. But if you had concert band, for instance, like I did in 4th to 6th grade, you'd actually be on an even earlier bus. They'd pick up all the band kids at around 6 in the morning across the entire district and take them to one school to practice for an hour before we'd be put on another school bus to take us to our actual elementary school. What was nice about it was that there were some students you could make friends with that didn't even go to your school, and you'd be like, oh my god, I only see him during band and he's cool. But having a bus to pick you up to go to school this early is insane to most Europeans. School in the UK in particular doesn't start before 8:30 a.m. most of the time, but then again, they also have school for the majority of the summer, which is such a shame. Can't imagine that. Back to the actual school bus, you might be wondering why they're yellow in the first place. What's that about? Turns out this dates back to 1939, when a conference led by Dr. Frank Sear, the so-called father of the yellow school bus, standardized school transportation across the entirety of the USA. The specific shade of yellow chosen was chosen because it's highly visible in the morning light and contrasted well with black lettering. The color even has a very specific name now, National School Bus Glossy Yellow. Because of course it does. This does seem to be a really nice pattern if you look at it. Like, the US does place a huge emphasis on design and uniform design across the entire country, or at least they used to do that a lot more in the 20th century. In the UK, depending on their area, kids will either walk, ride a bike, get taken to school by their parents, or they just take the local public transport. Some rural parts of the UK do have specific charter buses for taking kids to school, but there's no nationwide system or uniform design as iconic as America's big yellow school bus. These UK school buses usually are just regular coaches or minibuses that have been contracted by the local authority, sometimes with the name of the coach company still on the side. For those British students taking public transport to school, well, the local buses have a more frequent timetable around the time that school starts and ends to accommodate for the influx in students. And because public transportation is just a normal part of life over here, well, that means that having students get themselves to school this way goes a long way to building their independence, unlike in America where at 16 or 17 sometimes, some students can actually drive to school. How did they even learn to drive that early in the first place? I'm glad you asked. One of the classes that Brits seem to be mind-boggled over that we kind of take for granted in America is driver's ed. Not every state offers driver's ed to its students during high school, but New Jersey does. Gotta get on that turnpike at some age. Might as well get them young. If you want to learn to drive in the UK, you have to do that on your own time, with your own money, or rather your parents' money, and probably in your parents' car. But in the US, because the automotive lobby essentially got the government to gut American cities and replace all of the functional public transport networks with roads for cars, it means Americans don't really have any other way of getting around outside of their automobiles. So yeah, it makes sense that you'd want to have a driver's ed course in school. You might as well get the kids to learn early, so at least they can drive and get around. And this might freak out some Europeans, but the class that driver's ed replaced for me at my school was health. So, rather than learning about the human body, useless, I got to learn how to drive. That does explain a lot, doesn't it? I genuinely found driver's ed to be quite effective. It was only a semester long, so half the school year, and you had to do a lot of practical stuff, learning about how far you're supposed to park from a fire hydrant, and you had to test your reaction time to things, but I found it quite useful. Yeah, it's one of those things that it might seem normal to us in the US, but definitely not normal when it comes to everywhere else in the world. It does still blow my mind that we can have courses in driver's ed and advanced calculus and such, but most schools still don't have a course on something way more useful, like best money practices, investing, understanding tax. Why? That actually feels like something that a kid should be prepared for, right?
How did you react when you found out that Americans' final exam is multiple choice? A multiple choice exam for the final. What are we doing? I was just talking to my friend from the States, and then he goes, oh, you guys in the UK got it easy. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, a passing grade for you guys is 50, no? I said, duh, you get most of the questions right, you passed the exam. What the hell about you? Oh, a pass for us is 80 out of 100. That's a pass. That's not like an A star. Why? Well, the questions are multiple choice. Am I talking to a potato right now? The questions are multiple choice. He told me that so confidently. Bro, that's concerning. What even is? Statistically, by our standard, you can guess more than half your grade. Just guesswork. Just guessing complete. No, but your questions are easy. You guys can't even tell the time, bro. You guys can't tell the time. Well, you guys, don't come at me, but if you give an American a clock, they'll be like, what am I looking at right now? They can't read the time. If it's not on like a digital Apple Watch, they can't do it. They only so hard, they call it military time. What to warrant such a name? Military? Bro, read the numbers properly.
What do we love about American schools as Brits living here in Florida? My children really love this one. One day a week they get to finish an hour early so they can go and hang out with their friends, go to the mall, go to the public swimming pool. We have only ever seen this in the movies, but going to an American school, you have the chance to ride to school on the American yellow school buses. We love that you get a locker with a padlock on, so only you can access this. That the work is easier in American schools. They like the fact that there is no GCSE, so your whole high school experience doesn't boil down to that one test at the end of your 5 years of high school. Marks that you get for your work in American school, you can take quizzes that will earn you 20% of your grade. You can do assignments and coursework that give you about 30% of your grade. So each piece of work that you do will help you toward your grade. So some of the subjects, if you end up getting 70%, then you can actually drop out of that course and then concentrate on your other work. So this one is a little bit expensive for the parents, but they get more than one prom. They get junior prom, they get senior prom, they get homecoming. You get to celebrate the end of high school by going to graduation and wearing your cap and your gown. If you live close to the school, when there is a sports match going on, you can hear the families, the friends and the supporters roaring from down the street. I'm sure my children will find many more reasons over the years as to why they love American school.
It's on your heart.
Hand on my heart.
And pledge your undying allegiance to this nation.
As someone who was born and raised in Iceland, when I came to the US for the very first time and saw this in schools, it was so fucking weird. 'Cause you know what we're used to? We're used to, morning Bob, morning Ted. You ready to get this math class on? I am indeed, let's do it. And that would be the start of the day. Or breakfast. Here, when I introduced myself to the class, literally they went, all right, put your hand on your chest and do the thing. And I'm just standing over everyone just like, what? So I put my hand on my chest and I'm just like copping myself a feel. And then I'm just mumbling to myself and then decided to look up what it actually meant. The only thing that I can think of is Germany. So after that, I decided to stop. And because of it, not only did I get bullied from random kids on the street, but also my fucking math teacher. That indoctrination runs deep.
Bro, I used to think that growing up as a school athlete in the UK was the pinnacle of life. You were borderline a celebrity. That wasn't
until I saw high school football in the States.
Bro, I went to a high school football game in the United States back in 2017. It's all real.
None of it is fake. It's like the movies.
Bro, these high school athletes in the US, they've got
marching bands. They've got cheerleaders.
They get their own kits that they don't need to share. Look at high school Texas football stadiums. These guys
are selling out 15,000 seats.
I used to feel like a professional athlete when I played for my school sports team back here in the UK, but in the US, you are actually professional athletes. I remember during 5th period, you'd be in class and you'd have the PE teacher come into your class, read a list of names and be like, these guys need to leave early. Yeah.
Because they're actually representatives of the school.
Then you jump onto a smelly bus that hasn't been cleaned in like 40 years, you're given a kit that hasn't been washed in like 20 years, and then you're called
a school athlete. Not in the US.
Bro, some of these US high school athletes are living like
professional athletes in the UK.
You're given your own number jersey. You're given all the gear that you can ask for. Sometimes you're given free shoes. And
you actually have people at your game.
Some of these US high school stadiums have got a bigger capacity than Luton Stadium, bigger capacity than
Brentford Stadium.
They've got state-of-the-art facilities. Over here in the UK, you're lucky if the pitch that you're playing on isn't flooded and if the goal that you're scoring
and still has nets.
And all because my parents decided to raise me in the UK and not the USA, I'm not experiencing this. But, you know what?
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome to Westfield High School. This is our brand new weight room with a turf field and all new weights. And this is our auditorium. This is Westfield Basketball main gym. This is the bistro. This is our MPIF. Our multi-purpose instructional facility. This is our construction room. I'm convinced that these are very rare in Indiana. This is our wrestling room. This is Riverview Health Stadium. NFC Championship game. And finally, a rock shop.
You're in this class? You're in this class now? Yeah. Why didn't you go? Yeah, everybody went except for you, Harris, and Chris. So I was like by myself.
Where is he? Oh.
Wait, what happens in 4th grade in Germany?
The teacher decides to which school you're going to.
Which school?
Yeah, so in Germany there are 4 different schools. The top school is called Gymnasium, where they focus on academics and you can get your A-level degree, which helps you to go to university right away. The lowest school is called Hauptschule, where they focus mainly on job preparation and jobs like trades, so if you want to become a mechanic. And then there are 2 middle schools called Realschule and Gesamtschule, and you can still get your A-level degree in both of these schools. With the Realschule, you have to transfer to either Gymnasium or Berufskolleg, and at the Gesamtschule, if you perform well in school, you can get your A-level degree there.
Dang, and how does the teacher decide who goes where?
Based on the grades and based on the capability the teacher thinks you have.
What happens if a student doesn't perform well? Is there any way to go to a different school?
Yes, your parents can still take you to another school and you can do a test, and if you do good in the test, you can go to that school.
When you're 10, they're basically deciding your life.
It's really hard because every kid also has a different learning style, and I feel like back then especially, teachers were not even considering it.
In the US, they like to mix the kids because then they kind of help each other to learn and to grow.
Yeah, I honestly like that. I think in Germany they do it because they think that the top students would be held back by the lower students, which I think is so stupid.
Mathematik, Science, Naturwissenschaften, Social Studies, Sozialkunde, History, Geschichte, PE, Sport, Art, Kunst, Literature, Literatur, Economics, Wirtschaft, Biology, Biologie, Chemistry, Chemie, Physics, Physik, Sociology, Sozialkunde, Psychology, Psychologie, Music, Musik, Computer Science, Informatik, Medicine, Medizin, Law, Jura, Engineering, Ingenieurwissenschaften, Political Science, Politikwissenschaften, Environmental Science, Umweltwissenschaften, Business Administration, Betriebswirtschaftslehre.
I don't know why. I don't mind the hustle and the tussle. I don't mind the grind. I don't mind pretending we don't see these signs. I don't mind the hustle and the tussle. I don't mind the grind. You and me dancing on the Gideon time. On the Gideon time. Try to unplug it, turn it back on. Try to unplug, but the feeling's gone. Walking the wild, walking the wild. You don't know why, you don't know why, you don't know why. Radio play in the cesspool stream. Oh, running down nightmares that used to be dreams. Walking the wild, walking the wild. And I don't know why. I don't mind the hustle and the tussle. I don't mind the grind. I don't mind pretending we don't see